step is that way. So what is supposedly important to is the Andromeda star system, and to Sirius, which is, we know, Osiris is Orion and Sirius put together, and he deals with that star system, it makes sense him telling us to go there. As well as when you pay attention to the Dogon and other ancient civilizations who talked about they came from the stars, they came from Sirius. And you have just so many ancient civilizations talking about that's where we came from, out there, not here. And we know that to be true because, we don't grow on Earth. We were literally put here in the beginning by something. So again, I went through this whole thing with evolution and how what they're telling us does not fit. And when you start to put it all together, I mean, it's so much information that's giving you the clues that reincarnation is not something that you should accept, something that you should accept as being, final, and something that we have to just deal with. That the point is for you to not reincarnate back here, to not be back here. And you have these beings and these people that's running everything, preparing the world for something else. And I don't really want to get into all that right now. We'll talk about it down the line. But you can see, they're getting ready for something. Everything is not set the way people think it is. And a lot of people think that this stuff is written. This is what's supposed to happen. They are very actively executing their plan and going about their plan, but it's not as if they're not doing it as if everything is done. Everything is just written, or it'd be done already. They would have had it out the way. It's contingencies. They have to factor in us, people waking up, and the distraction is on, and that's basically what it's about. The distraction, the mass distraction, the deception. As long as they can keep us distracted and deceive us, we are not bothering them and messing with their agenda. And that's basically what that's all about. But, a lot of people really, the ones who are bold enough to think to that point, I get this question all the time. I get that in my inbox all the time about reincarnation. So I wanted to really do this little video to touch on it a little bit, but not go in too deep. It's a lot to it. And when you can look at just your everyday life, dreaming, the fact that it seems so real, and what we know about death. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you don't know what happened when you die, or you don't know what's really going to happen. That simple point, far as sleep, and what we can piece together with people who I believe, and you should as well, had the knowledge about this. Just the simple fact they was able to do what they did and know what they knew so long ago tells you that they had a pretty good clue about this. And I don't think you get so many people in the ancient world talking about the same thing, just different ways. So the reason why I talk about meditation and why it's important is because that's what's going to give you the control eventually of the dream world. I've been meditating for over 13 years now, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't see actual results, actual differences. You'll start noticing it. After the first couple of years you meditate, and you'll see how how sound, how relaxed your thinking will become, how less scared you'll be, how more on point, your hand-eye coordination. I mean, everything just heightens. You are a much better person once you meditate, and you really having thoughts on training your mind, because that's what meditation is really about. You training your consciousness to do what you want to do, you programming yourself to exist in this physical world the correct way, and to spiritually, grow, to unite, to really gain that trust of your subconscious, to have it understand that you are ready. That's basically what it is. I'm not going to give you all this power and knowledge if you're a child and you don't really understand what you need to do. And it kind of sort of, it throws you off a little bit, because you would think that, it's like, hey, we in this thing together, like, give me the information, like, I'm just, let me wake up so we can move on. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people believe this whole thing is some kind of test, some kind of training, but I basically don't believe that no more, based upon the whole DNA tampering. But yeah, I mean, it still could be. It's just the DNA tampering is just too extensive when you pay attention. as I talked about previous videos. The whole DNA thing, it's just, I can't wrap my hand around that one. That is literally something that, genetically modified us. Same thing with the apes that I talked about. And, just the whole evolution of us and them and the similarities and the fact that we're sharing all this DNA and genes with these animals. This is tampering. This is creation as far as in a physical sense. To trap the spirit, or who knows what really it was about. Talk about it a lot in Saturn Satan series, but it's a lot to it. But all of it, it comes back to reincarnation. I know a lot of white people that follow me don't like that aspect of it when I talk about the spiritual aspect of all of this. Because spiritually, they have to go a different path than we do, and that really has to deal with melanin, as I talked about. And anybody who's seen consciousness, carbon, and melanin, the matrix of reincarnation DVD, you understand what I'm talking about. That's one of the most informative videos on this that I have out. So definitely check that out if you have not. It's a lot of information in there, but it's just so much to it. So. The point is, again, everything, the culmination of all this information, everything we're trying to figure out is going to lead you back to that single fact. Everything you're going through in your life, everything that you're putting up with, all the knowledge, information you gather, to not have it coming back here, it's just something that you definitely don't want to go through. So, again, meditation is the key to really breaking free, to really making that connection and really unlocking the masculine or feminine energy within yourself. You can go across every ancient civilization and they're talking about this exact thing in different ways. It is the most important thing that we must do within our existence, is really make that connection of masculine and feminine energy. And as you study and learn more about all this, you'll see that's true. So reincarnation, to answer that question for a lot of you, we're going to get into this much deeper in later videos. That's basically, in a nutshell, what you need to understand about it. Religious people, the whole idea of, you dying and, there's some heaven out there and everything. And it's just for people who follow this book. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And ain't nobody going anywhere because there's nobody following that book, including any Christians that's watching and any Christian on this planet. They ain't following the book anyway. So for them to do what they need to do to get to their heaven, they're not doing it anyway. So it's just crazy. So, it's a lot of places people are running to find these spiritual things. And, we always talk about the spooky stuff and crazy stuff that people talk about. And I see there's a lot of people just jumping from one spiritual thing to the other, and not being really rational about what they follow. So to me, if you're going to believe that, if you're going to say somebody's crazy for following this imaginary Jesus or what have you, you have to say the same for the people that's talking about these ancestors as being these spirits that's just out somewhere, and stuff. I mean, people got to cut that out. And it's just not true. You got to really understand, as I've talked about before, we are the ancestors. The energy is within us. There is no new energy that is being created when a person is born. It's the same energy, plain and simple, being transferred. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. So, in theory, when you understand, you should have the information, the knowledge of everything, since everything is connected. It's just that simple. A lot of people can't wrap their head around that because we are living in this divisive system right now that's everybody's me. I'm my person, I'm me. But we really fail to acknowledge all the similarities that we have and how we are the same. And that's how they can control us, because we are the same. We think the same. You do this to one person, it'll affect the same person if you do the right things. They are controlling every single neighborhood with the same hip hop culture. It's affecting the same people in Philly as it's affecting the people in Detroit, Chicago. We doing the same shit. So we're not looking at those similarities and them understanding this, and we're not getting it. So to me, it's just as crazy if you're talking about this Jesus Christ. if you're talking about these ancestors living in trees in the forest or what have you. Like, and the people who say they speak it to the ancestors, it's just as crazy. People talking about they speaking to Jesus is just as crazy as the people talking about they speak it to the ancestors. Oh, I'm talking to the ancestors. Yeah, what they saying. If you're going to believe it's some spiritual beings somewhere that's talking to people, you can ask them the same questions that you would say about Jesus. Okay, why ain't you helping us out? Because I get a lot of people that's hit me with this talk about the ancestors and the ancestors in the bushes and the trees and, you know, stuff like that. Okay, so tell them to give you the lottery numbers for next week. You know, tell them to do something to help. If they spiritual and they got some kind of connection or knowledge, I mean, they just energy sitting in the trees. Like, what the fuck is they doing? It's crazy. People got to stop that and understand how crazy that sounds. It ain't no ancestors nowhere. You are the ancestors. That was the whole point of slavery, for them to basically beat the information we naturally pass down to each other from reincarnation, to beat it out of us, to take it from us. Because as I said, and the many hidden accomplishments of African people, I talked about this in that video, it's on YouTube, what that was about. Because they looked and seen that they was killing us off, but you had civilizations popping up with the same knowledge of the people they just killed. How is that possible? How is that possible? This is what we naturally did in ancient times. We passed down information. So as I talked about, when, as Azra Kwesi points out very well, about how the Egyptians came up from Ethiopia. You know, they came up from lower Africa up to Kemet. And it's like, how did they know to go there? And when they got there, how did they have the knowledge that they have to even try to build pyramids? To even do what they did as far as building the colossal statues. I say before, you know, those great pyramids, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure was there before, you know, those Africans came up into Kemet. But you still have to look at what they still was able to build after that, which just as, to me, unbelievable as the pyramids itself. They had that knowledge already. How? Because we was passing it down naturally. So they bred it out of us. They beat it out of us. Hundreds of years of slavery of us only knowing what they taught us. And we reincarnated and brought it right back. And we still suffering from what they call the slave gene, us passing down this information, because we're still passing it down. It's not a coincidence, as I talk about, when we have our kids and they're born, they bad automatically, or they know stuff they shouldn't know at that age. They dancing to music, you know, the rhythm, and they just doing stuff naturally, like knowing where to go to drink milk. And just knowing, you know, it's already programmed in the DNA to know to walk and talk later on, because we pass this information down. But them controlling us, the people who was controlling this consciousness, controlling us to program us to what we can pass down. That's basically what happened. So it's, like I said, it's deep. It's a lot to it. But, you know, don't be banging with all that ancestors talk because it just seemed like the cool thing that black people doing. Like, stop that. It's just, it don't make no sense. It's just as crazy as Jesus Christ in the goddamn clouds. Some ancestors in the bushes and the trees and shit. That's retarded. No, it's not that. It's in you. Plain and simple. Anything that you seeing, anything that you manifest, is coming from you. Anything that you seeing in your dream, it's not the ancestors coming to you. You are the ancestors. That energy is you. So I want to thank you guys again for taking the time to watch. And hopefully this answered some of your questions about reincarnation. But as I said, we're going to get into this a lot more. I think, again, if you've seen my videos, I mean, you get it. Like I always say, you understand what I talk about. But it's a lot of other things that I help kind of bridge the gap for anybody who still may not understand. Time is one of the things that's going to help out with that. So we really want to talk about time and really get into that. And really kind of sort of get into, I want to talk about kind of sort of for the people who saw Avengers, what that is about with the Infinity Stones and what that really means, the meaning to all that. And that's not new, you know, for people who understand about, you know, that whole thing with the Infinity Stones and what that's really talking about. We're going to touch on that. And of course, as I talked about before, Stan Lee, creator of Marvel, gets all this stuff from the ancient world. We know the original Marvel characters was based off ancient Egyptian gods. So you know what he's talking about they know what they're talking about. It's a reason why Disney bought the company, because they know what they could do with it and how they can get out their esoteric teachings and their agenda in the movies. And, it just fly right past a lot of our heads. The simple fact that you had the Georgia Guidestones talking about killing most of the people on the planet. And then you have Georgia being a company that was partly behind the Avengers movie, and that the movie is about killing half the people in the fucking universe or half the people on the planet. It's not a coincidence. They're trying to tell you something with that whole thing. And I know a lot of people already got that point, but it's kind of creepy when you watch it and you know what it's talking about. It's like, damn, they really just going to put it out there just like that? It's their plan. It's their agenda. It's a lot easier to control us. A lot easier to control us if they get rid of half of us. We're talking about billions of people, and that's this sick agenda that these people have that we just going to let happen. Because, as I said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because it's just, the control is just, it's that good. I have no faith in humanity. I'm sorry, I don't. Which is why I'm teaching about how to get the fuck out of here and not come back to this stuff, not be born back into this world that they trying to have here for you. So some people get it, some people don't. Humanity right now is so lost. I mean, not saying we can't come back, but we're on the brink right now. Anytime you got people falling for every single thing the media talks about, I mean, come on, it's sickening. It's crazy. People following these celebrities like they're gods more than they do the gods that they're supposed to be. They claim they follow. I mean, it's crazy. So, we get too caught up in too much stuff, and it's not too many people that's really thinking completely free. And I do my part, do what I can to wake people up. I know you guys do as well, and I appreciate that. But a lot to get into. It's going to be a lot more videos coming up on YouTube. I have been really busy with a lot of stuff, but I have a lot more videos I'm about to put back up on YouTube and be doing that more again once I finish what I got to take care of. But thanks for the support, everybody who purchased and support, and definitely check out the clothes and everything, the shoes and everything like that. And I appreciate the support and everybody who has been really supporting from day one. And I'm here. I ain't went nowhere. I'll be back with a lot more videos, but thanks for watching.